Hey, hello. What's up, everyone? Welcome to. Listen. Let me start over again. Reverse. Hold on. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the No Bull Podcast, or welcome back to the No Bull Podcast. I'm your host, Brianna Bull, and I'm bringing you everything basketball. Okay, so we took a little break yesterday. I was not live yesterday, but I'm back today. We're going to recap the 5 games that happened Thursday with some upsets, but not to our surprise though. I thought I'd throw that out there, not to our surprise. And then we will talk about that clutch bucket from Skylar Diggins. We'll also take a look at just the NBA 2K25, I almost said 26, NBA 2K25 Summer League. I'm like, why am I so slow today? And then we'll also just talk about some rumor mill in the NBA surrounding our beloved LeBron James. You either love him or you hate him, but he is low-key the GOAT of this generation at least. And then we will talk about some more news, and we got a lot to talk about. Okay, so let's just get right into it. I got some people in the chat. Scotty Boy said, I love watching you talk about sports. Hard eyes. Thanks, Scotty Boy. Welcome to the chat, glad you're here. And then Kelsey the Bow Queen, what's up, brother? He said, hey sis, hello, welcome, glad you're here. Okay, happy United States Day was yesterday. I hope everyone enjoyed that for yourself. Do you like fireworks? Or someone told me they don't like fireworks because they have PTSD. And I'm like, you must have been through some things. Okay? They also said they didn't like Christmas. So there's that. I don't know. It was an intense conversation. But anyway, let's talk. We're here to talk basketball, so let's talk ball. Just remember, if you know bull, you know ball. So let's get into it. First thing on the docket, we are going to cover our WNBA, starting off with the Indiana Fever versus the Las Vegas Aces game. And Kelsey Mitchell getting it done. She's showing y'all. She was like, Caitlin who? Just kidding. No. But all seriousness, Kelsey Mitchell has been dominating. Her presence, she's definitely one of the best guards in the league, if not the best shooter, one of the best shooters in the league. And I'm hoping for the All-Star game, they have her in a skills challenge or the shooting. I hope she shoots. I hope she's going to be one of the shooters. I don't know. By the way, since we're talking about WNBA All-Star, that kicks off Friday, July 18th at 8 p.m. on ESPN. And it would be the skills challenge to start off. And then on Saturday, July 19th, it will be the All-Star game. But let us dive into this Fever versus Aces game. So the Fever came out swinging and they never looked back. They handed Las Vegas Aces one of, I would say, their worst losses of the season, winning 81-54. It was just a constant beatdown. I was taken aback, to say the least. And we can all say that this silences any doubts that anyone has about this Indiana Fever team, including myself. If you go check out my last stream, I said with this game that the Indiana Fever have a tendency to play really well against their wild cards. They're just not consistent. Obviously, with their last before this game, they were 8-8. Now they're 9-8, but they just kept losing to teams that everyone thought they should beat. And then they were beating teams everyone was sleeping on them for. Without Caitlin Clark, she will miss her 5th consecutive game tonight, and we'll get to that. But without Caitlin Clark, this Indiana Fever team is just, they found their rhythm and they got foot on necks and they're not letting up. Kelsey Mitchell led the way with 25 points, knocking down shots with confidence and setting the tone offensively for this Indiana Fever team. And then, of course, we have All-Star Aaliyah Boston adding 20 points anchoring the paint and making her presence felt on both ends. Now, we can talk all day offensively about this this Indiana Fever team. Notably how two players seemingly always end up scoring at least 20 points a game. You even saw from Natasha Howard, who shot 4 for 8 from the field goal, 3 for 3 from the free throw line. And she had 3 assists, 10 rebounds. So she had another double-double. Remember, she had a double-double in that Commissioner Cup game that got her MVP Cup win. They're shooting, they shot 14 as a team. 14 from 17 from the free throw line, 49.2% field goal, and then 31% from the 3. And Kelsey Mitchell, she shot 4 for 6. 4 for 6. 4 for 6. From the 3. But I don't want it to just be about how great the Indiana Fever were on offense. I believe it was their defense that really stood out for me personally. Their relentless pressure, tight rotations, and they held the Aces to just 26% shooting from the field. Aces were struggling. The only person that got double digits on Thursday night was our lovely league MVP, first woman, fastest to get to a 5,000 points. Career points is Miss Asia Wilson. She shot 9 for 18 from the field goal. She was 11 from 13 from the free throw, but she ended up with 29 points. Everybody else? And it wasn't even like they were shooting and missing. I mean, Kia Stokes 0 for 2. Chelsea Gray 1 for 3. Jewel Lloyd 0 for 3. Jackie Young 2 for 9. Nalissa Smith 1 for 6, and Nalissa is a new addition, but we'll probably talk a little bit more about her when we get to the Dallas Wings, just because they clearly don't need her. But anyway, Nalissa, she did come off the bench because we were wondering. We were like, okay, who's going to start for this Las Vegas Aces team, considering somebody like was hurt or out, and I was like, who's going to replace her as a starter? It looked like Kia Stokes ended up being that presence, but even though Kia started, she only played 12 minutes, and Nalissa ended up playing 23 minutes in the game. But again, this Indiana Fever, I don't know. I mean, wow. I don't even know what to say about that. Correction. She won a 125-point heater in 5 games. I don't want to hear no more smack about Kessie Missile from the Casuals. and I just want to point out, that person who left the comment is a huge Indiana Fever fan. So I know they're reveling right now. Specifically a Kelsey Mitchell fan. Yeah. You call her the bailout queen. And she for sure has been holding it down for this Indiana Fever team without their presence of Caitlin Clark. Now, Indiana, I feel like to see this defending Las Vegas Aces team struggle the way they did offensively. They were trying to take tough shots. They were forcing tough shots, crashing the boards. Indiana Fever was crashing the boards. Like, it was kind of like, where is this Aces team? Their rebounding was like almost non-existent. How many rebounds did they have? As a team, they had 37 rebounds. 26 rebounds as a total team. 8 offensive and 18 defensive. 26. It just seems really low. While the Indiana Fever had 10 offensive and 27 defensive altogether. But 54 points? That's low. Even for a WNBA team. 54 points. They looking like the Connecticut Suns out there. Goodness. They just struggled to find the rhythm. So the scoring numbers is just ridiculous. If you go back and look at the box score, you're just like, bro, what? The next highest scorer aside from Asia with 29 points was Jackie Young with 6 points. And she took 9 shots to get those 6 points. And a free throw. She missed one of them. I'm just saying, like, It was bad. It was bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. But I don't think this was just a win for the Indiana Fever. I believe that this was a breakthrough for them. Because like I said, I think that they have been struggling offensively. I mean, they have been struggling to remain consistent. Not necessarily offensively, just consistent in their journey so far this season. They just been searching for that consistency, and I think it's finally showing up for them. And it looks like all the pieces are clicking. One of the highlights of this is them snapping that 16-game lose streak, which somebody brought up in the stream the other day. They said, look it up. Indiana Fevers lost 16 games in a row. They haven't beat the Las Vegas Aces since 2019. That's huge. That's huge. Talk about a statement. It was really fun to watch. It wasn't fun to watch in a sense like watching good basketball, but it's just fun to watch this Indiana Fever team find their footing and to see Kelsey Mitchell leading the charge. I mean, isn't it fun in general just to watch a player, especially in the WNBA, who obviously it's been a battle to get people to come watch these games. But you watch this game and you see a player shoot the ball and the confidence that a fan has that it's going to go in, it's slowly and steadily increasing. These women are balling, and I need whoever is sleeping on them to wake up. Come on, light your candle. Get on board. And the Indiana Fever play tonight versus the Los Angeles Sparks, who they just lost to. And that was their first game without Caitlin. I can't wait to see what's going to happen tonight. I feel like they're going to win. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Okay, Tulip Play says, Bree, girl, let me see you do your dance. Let me see you twirl. Okay, we're here for basketball. Okay. The Tulip said, Fever are finally playing as a team, take care of the ball. Defense went up, turnovers went down. I wonder why. It sounds like Tulip might be a Caitlin Clark hater. Tulip also said Golden Girl will return soon. It will be back to hero ball rather than team ball. Oof. 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 This was a person in the chat. All right. Join the chat. What somebody got to say to that. Okay. Anyway, so we're going to move on. We're going to move on to our next game, which is just, I didn't get a picture for this because I think out of all the games on Thursday, this was probably like the most boring game. Wasn't really boring, but it was just like, eh. Anyway, the New York Liberty versus the Los Angeles Sparks. The Liberty bounced back on Thursday night with a strong showing at home, taking down the Sparks 89-79. After a couple of tough losses, New York looked more like themselves, moving the ball well, staying active on defense, and pretty much pulling away in the second half. That's what I would say. Natasha Cloud was the engine all night. Okay, it has not been Stewie. It has not been Sabrina. These last, I think, 3 games, Natasha Cloud has scored at least 15 points. Natasha, one of the league's best point guards passing. Shorty averages like 6.5 assists per game. It wasn't points. It's not points that we rely on Natasha Cloud for, but lately, because her star teammates have not been really showing up, Natasha is getting it done. Okay, she shot 7 for 12 from the field, 3 for 6 from the three-pointer, 6 for 6 free throws, 6 for 6, 100% from the free throw line. Getting 23 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal. I want to point out that 4 rebounds, 1 steal. Like, she's just everywhere. She has been this engine for the team. But following and scoring with Sabrina Ionesco, she was 7 for 18, 3 for 9 from the field. So we're starting to see her heat up. She's heating up. She's getting there. She had 20 points, 6 assists, 2 steals, 6 rebounds. So we saw Sabrina come back last night. It was really, I'm glad that we're starting to see Sabrina. Her neck, She might be the chiropractors. She might be getting massages. Something's working. Something's making it better for her. But obviously my favorite player, Breanna Stewart. She had a double-double. Go Stewie, go Stewie, go Stewie, go Stewie. She's just that steady presence for them. Okay? Like, she's just steadily, she keeps them, anybody, I think she's the best player in the league. Stewie will always be my GOAT. She had 14 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and finished 7 for 18 from the field goal with 17 points. Come on now. Come on. But okay, let's we talked about the New York Liberty. I do want to do a notable shout out to Mariah Johannes. Marine. Is it Marine? Yeah. Although she didn't play that much, she was taking, like, I just loved how she was actively trying to take shots for them. And she had 2 assists, 1 steal. I think she just made plays when they mattered. And I always want to give credit to players who don't normally, who don't play that much, but when they do play, it's effective, and we appreciate that. Especially with their off the bench, Rebecca Gardner, who really seems to just been struggling. And they only played her 4 minutes last night. And it seems like not the last game she did not have a good game. The game before that, she had a decent game. So I think she just got to find her own flow. But right now, the New York Liberty doesn't really have a bench. The most they played their bench players was like 12 minutes. So I always look at that and I get concerned for teams in the long run when they lack depth. But, that's a whole nother conversation in itself. And then obviously I don't want to sleep on Kennedy Burke. She's one of my favorite players also, just OG type vibes. And she was 4 for 8. She shot really well, 50% from the field with 12 points. So let's talk about the Sparks though. Because I've been saying this about the Sparks. I like the Sparks. They don't play any defense though. They struggle with their defense. But I do want to shout out like their young women. For example, Dearica Hamby. She's having a really strong season. She led LA in scoring, doing a little bit of everything. And that's what I like about this Los Angeles Sparks team. They have like stretch guards that just can seem to, you could place them anywhere essentially. And I really like that about this Sparks team. And they just need to just continue to be coached well. I hope their coach does better with developing these players because they have the potential. I think they just fall short sometimes working within a system. Like I'm not really sure where they fall short. I can't really put my finger on it. Why they struggle so much. And since basketball is a game of runs, it only really seems to me that if they manage, they can go on a run and then sustain it. But it's just them getting to going on a run. They don't have that. They do a lot of trading baskets. They don't make stops sometimes they just don't make spots. But let's go back to Dearica Hamby. She was 10 for 15 from the field goal, 1 for 2 from the 3. Hold on, I'm getting a call. Hope that's not impacting anything. Okay, good. 1 for 2 from the 3 with 25 points. She had 3 steals, 3 assists, 2 blocks, 9 rebounds. She almost had a double-double. Literally, she was just everywhere. And I'm like, girl, I love your energy. I just absolutely love players like that. Shout out to Dearica Hamby. I really like watching her play. Another person I enjoy watching play a lot is Rakia Jackson. She's really fiery, explosive. She can use her length a little bit better than what she does now. But I do enjoy watching her play. She didn't have like an amazing stat line last night, but just keep your eye on Rakia Jackson. She might not be developed here on the Sparks, but I could see her looking good on a different team. And then Kelsey Plum. Kelsey frustrates me watching her this year. I'm not going to lie. I mentioned that earlier. She shot 2 for 10. 0 for 4 from the 3. Sometimes it does just seem like she's playing like me ball, like she just knows she's Kelsey, so she got to get these points. But if they played more like a team, they would just be so much better. Like, if Kelsey focused more about playmaking as opposed to trying to score for them, because she already has a lot of great scorers around her and really solid, decent young girls around her. I want to see Kelsey playmake more for these women. I don't want to see Kelsey try and get her shot off thinking that if she scores, then the team will do well. Obviously, Kelsey, you're averaging 20 points a game, but that's not doing nothing because your team is like 5-13, boo. Come on. But you did just get traded there. But still, come on. Come on, boo-boo. And then Azurá Stevens, she shot amazing from the field goal, 5 for 8. She even hit a 3. She was 1 for 3. She hit a little free, and she got her 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Come on, Azurá. She like 6'5". Shorty is tall, 6'6" something. She's up there. She had 12 points, 4 blocks. She's definitely probably going to make like some defensive team this year. I don't know. Let's check the chat. I've been talking crap and I haven't been saying what y'all been saying. Bill McDonald said, did you see the ESPN analysts say the Fever are better without Caitlin Clark? For real. She said that. Ooh, Otto, ooh. Bill McDonald also said Stewie's a ball hog and can't shoot as well as a few years ago. Stewie a ball hog. No, who can stop Stewie? If I was Stewie, I would hug the ball too. Come on. Come on. I'm building my team around Stewie. Okay. I am not the type of person who's like, oh yeah, like just go one-on-one ball. I don't like that. As you can see, I just said it about Kelsey Plum, but it's Stewie. Like, really, who can stop her? Like, let's be for real. Let's be for real. Let's see. Stack said, bro, you know Fever have a better record without Caitlin, right? She missed half day games. Anyway, the chat's going a little crazy right now, debating Caitlin and whether or not if this Fever team is better with or without her. All I know is when a team is doing well without their quote-unquote best player, people start to wonder if that best player has some type of impact on how well a game could go. I just think basketball is a game of runs. And right now, the Indiana Fever has found their groove, like with Ariel McDonald, who they just acquired. Who's to say that if they acquired Aria this month and Caitlin never got hurt, who's to say that it wouldn't have been a similar fit? Because we can't sleep on the fact that Caitlin averages 8.9 assists per game. She's not even touching the same amount of points she averaged last year, did she? She only averages like 18. So to say like she's like all about herself when she averages 8.9 assists is kind of crazy. I'm just saying. That's kind of crazy to say that. Okay, so just some final thoughts about the New York Liberty and LA game is Liberty looked like they just got back to the basics. They're like, look, we've been struggling, so we're going to just go back to our fundamentals with defense, with rebounding, and trusting in their stars like Sabrina and Stewie and Natasha. Like, I agree with that. Kennedy Burke, you're great. We love you. You know, I'm not saying you're not great and saying good things. Same thing for Rebecca Gardner. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not, and even Isabel Harrison, I'm not saying, you know, they're not great, but it's the stars that drive the New York Liberty team, and that could be to their detriment or to their success. And we'll start to see as the season unfolds. Do I think they will remain at the top of the Eastern Conference? No. Nope. There's some teams in the Eastern Conference gunning for that top spot. So be on the lookout for that one. But yeah, we're going to wrap up, and we are going to talk about, and maybe even play. I might even actually play this one. You know, they shut down my stream the other day because of how I played certain things. But I do want to pull up, if I can find it, that clutch play for Skylar Diggins And maybe I can find it from like a YouTube page that isn't like WNBA or CBS, and maybe the copyright won't be so serious. Maybe we can find that. So, but while I pull that up, okay, Storm versus Dream. This one came down to the wire, and it was Seattle who came out on top, edging Atlanta 80-79 in a game that had drama all the way to the final seconds. It was drama. Drama, man. And it's not the first time Skylar Diggins has made some clutch plays. I mean, we could go all the way back to 2013 when she was on Notre Dame versus UConn. Shorty is a legend. And you know what I like about Skylar Diggins? I'm not going to lie. When she first joined the WNBA, and this was around, she probably was one of the first women players that started getting big, like, money deals, like sponsorship deals, because obviously, like, her beauty. You know, that was something that I think a lot of men were talking about, is like how bad she is. And she used to, like, always have her hair done, her makeup done, like, even when she was playing on the court. Now, Shorty be looking like she just rolled out of bed. She don't care. I love it. I love it. Her hair be looking like, she look like she just hooping, like, with her heart. I like her passion, Skylar Diggins' passion. And that's one of the reasons why, for one, I voted for her for All-Star. For two, she just, like, she left-handed, right? She's left-handed. And she just, like, I like how she leads her team. That's why I voted for her over Kelsey Plum. I think she's just, like, a better leader, a better point guard, and they have a better record, obviously, the Seattle Storm. And I like how she's been playing for them. But the Storm, it was pretty much the Atlanta Dream's game. Like, it felt like it was their game the entire time. As much as they were, like, trading back and forth with buckets, it just felt like Atlanta Dream really, we thought they were going to win. Similar to when they were played against Minnesota Lynx and they lost in overtime. The Atlanta Dream are continuing to demonstrate how they do not have the ability to close the game out. Okay? And it was the Storm that remained composed. And at the end, Skylar Diggins hit that game-winning bucket, driving to the rim with just a few seconds left to put Seattle ahead. I will say Nneka, I struggle with her last name. Despite, like, the commentator said it multiple times the other night. Is it Agumike? Is it Agumike? I'd be struggling. She set the tone early for the Storm. She's efficient, aggressive, and pretty much steady throughout. And then we also saw Erica Wheeler gave them a huge boost in scoring in bunches, which helped stretch Atlanta's defense with her perimeter game. So it brought people out the court, out to the three, and it allowed Nneka to do her job and do what we know she can do. She hasn't really been doing these past few games, but that All-Star showed us why she was an All-Star last night. Okay, she was 9 for 14 from the field goal, 24 points. So she led everyone. No, not everyone. Jordan Canada got her by 1 point. But she did lead her team in scoring with 24 points, 3 for 5 from the three-point line, and 3 for 3 from the free throw. She had 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. Shorty was everywhere. Now, she does turn the ball over a lot. And she did it last night again. And I was like, or the other night. So, but everyone turns the ball over in the WNBA. Let's be real. I'm sorry to that team. And then Erica Wheeler, like I said, Shorty. I mean, yeah, I got Skylar Diggins' picture up right now because she hit that bucket. But Erica Wheeler, to me, really made the biggest difference for the Seattle Storm team the other night. She was 9 for 17 from the field, 3 for 5 from the three-point. She had 2 assists, 3 steals, and a block. Finishing the night with 21 points. So, she's going crazy. Now, Gabby Williams, I really like her ability to play make. And I think she's becoming one of the rising stars on the Seattle team and one of the rising stars in the league. because although she's not like very grand in how many points she scores or maybe how she gets her buckets, I still think that she is very much slept on with her playmaking ability. She has 6 assists last night. And overall, let me see. What's how much she average? She averages 4.7 assists. I could see it improving as we go along. I really can. I really like Gabby Williams in her game. She's starting to become one of my favorites to watch play. Not too much. They were kind of quiet off the bench. It was really their stars. Atlanta Dream is the team that I think has one of the best depth in the league. So let's go ahead and talk about the Atlanta Dream. Like I said, they had control for most of the night. Jordan Canada had 25 points. And I love how aggressive she is. I love how aggressive Atlanta is all around. But she was all around. She was scoring, facilitating, getting after it on defense. Brianna Jones, one of the best, becoming one of my favorite bigs in the league, man. She, like, her presence on the inside, she just dominates. Nneka was struggling. She dominates. Better than Brittany Griner. Brittany who? I'm not a Brittany Griner fan at all. I'm not going to lie to y'all, bro. She pisses me off. She only played 19 minutes the other night. Like, I guess she's 7 foot, but why do you not play that much? I'm not a Brittany Griner fan. Four rebounds? You're 7 foot? What the heck? But Brianna Jones, 9 for 14 from the field goal. 10 rebounds. 4 of them were offensive. Shorty know how to get an offensive board. I want to know who can stop her in the paint. Who can stop her? I'm not sure. And she had 1 steal, 4 assists, 18 points. I really, really like how she's playing. Now, Alicia Gray played the entire game. And everybody talking about like how Alicia's having like this amazing season. And I'm just now tuning into the WNBA. I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't see what everybody else sees in Alicia Gray. When she has a bad night, she has a really bad night and a really bad attitude. And so just watching her play, I have not been impressed. So I did not vote for her for All-Star. I was very surprised to see her get starter. And when I watched the WNBA analysts, like, they give her so much praise. But I've seen her play how she played the other night multiple times. So I just don't yet see what everybody else sees in Alicia Gray. I'm not saying she doesn't have the ability to score. I'm just not impressed. I'm not impressed yet, to be honest. Okay, so we got a lot of chatter in the chat. Let me just see. What's up, Venom? Venom Reacts has joined the chat. Oh, Venom, how are you able to play, like, you literally play your screen and then, like, you're just at the bottom? Like, how do you not get the copyright? Because, like, they shut my stream down, bro. Shut it down. I was like, dang. And I felt like what I was saying was transformative. Like, I really didn't think it was something that was just me playing the video. I was contributing, as I obviously was straight monologue with it. It was just crazy. Yeah, someone says CC Caitlin Clark disrespect where? Bro, people are in the chat disrespecting Caitlin Clark, saying that this team is better. It was like, a matter of fact, I could pull it up. I can pull it up where they said, let's just do that real quick, since that's what people want to talk about. We'll talk about it. Caitlin Clark. Let's see if I can find it. They were saying that she could possibly be better. The Indiana Fever team is better without her. Let me see. Where is it? Okay, it was Mick. It was in Mick Talks Hoop, and he's an ESPN host. Wait, no. Let's see if I can find it. I should go get my headphones so I can actually hear it, or else it's gonna be an echo. Scotty Boy said, you in the West Coast, Bree? No, I'm in Maryland. I'm based in Baltimore, so I'm East Coast. East Coast. I'm born and raised Baltimore. I don't sound like I'm from Baltimore, and that's one of my favorite things about myself. As much as I love Baltimore, I am not. I mean, you might hear it come on my accent sometimes, but I am from Maryland. Okay, I'm gonna go get my Beats headphones so that it's not like, too much of whatever, and so that it's no echo. So I'll be right back. But I'll be back in like 2 minutes, y'all. Quick intermission. Okay, back like I never left. And I got my headphones on, so there should be no echo. I'm also panting because I ran all the way upstairs. Okay, so welcome back. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. I see a lot of new people in the chat. Really glad to have you here. We've been just breaking down WNBA, all the games that took place on July 3rd, Thursday, and we are halfway through. But I did see some comments of talking about Caitlin Clark and how she's better without Clark. This like narrative that's being pushed. So I see a lot of different. It was an ESPN reporter that said that Indiana Fever is better without Caitlin. So we're going to go ahead and play this. I think this is the original one. I did not see this video, so this will be my first time seeing it. Okay, so this is the playback cam that I want to use, but I'm going to go ahead and use this one just to stay safe.
$500,000 in an in-season championship on the line. Commissioner Cup final today in the WUC. No Caitlin Clark's out with a groin injury for the third straight game for the Fever as they take on the Minnesota Lynx. These two teams that have played in this the last couple seasons, they've gone on to play in the
all right, we're just skipping a little bit.
However, bad news for the Fever. The team that won the cup went on to lose in the finals both times, with Vegas getting the last.
Is this the right one? Is this the right video, y'all? Chat, let me know. Is this one? Is this Shorty? One of these Shorty about to say?
Call for the Commissioner's Cup. Joining us now on Sports Center in LaChina, the Fever. They came into this game as double-digit underdogs, but they pull it off.
Bree, do 1.25 speed to avoid copyright.
Kelsey, honestly, I'm still stunned. You mentioned the Fever are undermanned. They're without their point guard and their scoring sensation and Caitlin Clark. And they were down 13 points to the Minnesota Lynx early in this game. Of course, we're in Minnesota. The Lynx had to crowd into it early. And in the second quarter, the Lynx went on an 8-minute drought and did not score. And
Bree, they'll copyright you, girl. Stop. I've done this before. I've literally done this before. But, like, I pause it. They're two good teams. If CC want to play. Bill McDonald says she also called Kelsey a point guard. I think, now, just real quick, I do think once they signed Aria McDonald, right, and Caitlin Clark was out, it did look like Kelsey Mitchell was bringing the ball up and was trying to be their point guard, and I did not like her in that position. It wasn't until we start seeing their adjustments, she was coming off the screens, one dribble, pull up, knockdown. So I think they made an offensive adjustment going into that Commissioner's Cup with Aria McDonald being their primary ball handler and Kelsey moving back to that too. So I did see them attempt to put Kelsey as a point guard, and it did not work out at all. At least not as effectively as it could have. Venom said, Mob Tula Bree, when you get the chance, she's great. After they played the Aces. I just feel like what's up, Micah? Micah said, cool podcast, keep it going. I'm in Detroit. I'm glad to know the W will be back in 2029. Me too. I hope that the Detroit WNBA team is as aggressive as the Detroit Piston boys. But back in the day, not this Detroit team. It's a little different now. But all right. So y'all said, is this the right video though? Chat, I need to know. Is this the right video? Is this the shorty that said that Caitlin Clark is not as good?
And she brought in Sydney Colson. That became a steadying force. Sophie Cunningham came in and just made it a more physical contest. I really thought that Indiana was the more physical team, and they turned it up. And you saw it on the rebounding. Minnesota was out-rebounded by 10. They had 16 turnovers, which is very uncharacteristic of this team. And they only scored 59 points on their home floor. I mean, it was a really impressive
to the WNBA Finals. But the Fever right now, China, they sit at 8th in the standings with a record of 8-8. So what do they have to do to try and continue this trend and see themselves in the finals at the end of the season?
Yeah, I think they're doing a lot of things well. The Fever are a team that has been through a lot, right, this year with Caitlin's injury. Everyone knows about DeWanna Bonner deciding that this wasn't a good fit for her. I mean, there's been multiple lineup changes. Stephanie White has had to miss some time for personal reasons. But it seems like that has all just made this Indiana Fever team more resilient. We started the year talking.
It was Carolyn Peck that said it. Okay, Carolyn Peck. All right, let me bring this back down. I don't care what anybody says. We know this Indiana Fever team. It's not that they're better without Caitlin. Like we get it. I get it. They've been going on a run. They won the cup. But we also, if you look at that Commissioner Cup game, and now I'm about to get real with y'all. I'm about to get real with y'all, and I wish I could have got real with Caroline Peck, because we look at that cup game, and it wasn't that Minnesota was struggling to score. And if you actually watched the game, Indiana had a lot of moments that they still struggle offensively. So yes, they beat the Las Vegas Aces, holding them last night to 29% shooting or 26% shooting. But let's also not forget that the Las Vegas Aces have been struggling themselves. They have not been playing well. So, am I surprised that they got beat as bad? Yes. But I'm not as surprised to see, like, we should not jump the gun to the point where we're like, okay, Indiana Fever are worse without Caitlin Clark. They were worse when she got there. They were like one of the worst teams in the league. And then she got there. So let's talk about that. Like, I think we like to hop on these narratives, and it's only been 3 games. And yes, they have a shorter season, but we're still not even halfway through the season. Let's see if they can beat this LA Sparks team who they were supposed to beat a week ago, and they didn't. It was an upset. So, you know what I mean? Let's calm down. Let's calm down with the Caitlin Clark nonsense. All right, let me get back on track. I lost track and stuff with that Caitlin Clark nonsense. Let's get back on track. Where were we at? Okay, so we were just talking about that Seattle Storm game. It wasn't that they dominated, they just executed when it mattered. And at the end of the stretch, Skylar Diggins hit that 3, and that clutch factor honestly won them that game. So, let us move on because we are about 47 minutes into this stream, and we still have a lot to talk about. Like, we still got some WNBA news that should be happening in a month. We will talk about that. And then we also got NBA free agency to talk about, some things that happened. And then we got rumors with LeBron. And then we got NBA Summer League, which kicks off at 4:30 today. And what time is it? 4:30 Eastern. It's 2:16 Eastern. So, lots to do. Okay, let's see. Let us see. Next game we're going to talk about. Now, I grabbed this picture from when they played against the Lynx, but actually I got another Paige Becker's snapshot, and she's like going like this. She was playing, these rookies on the Dallas Wings team, and I said this yesterday, I was like, this is a possible upset alert. Because despite them losing Alyssa Smith to the Las Vegas Aces, this Dallas Wings team, Texas is lit right now. Texas is lit for basketball right now. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, if I was a Texas fan, I'd be going crazy. Right? I would have woke up Friday morning like it was my birthday, not the United States birthday. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they're lit right now. Dallas Wings, they got off to a hot start in the first quarter, outscoring Phoenix 32-20, ending up with a 98-89 win over the visiting Mercury. So they were home with it. I mean, it was fresh energy, sharp shooting, asserting themselves. One of my favorite bigs, who's like a sleeper in my opinion, she like reminds me of Zubac. She like if I could compare her to Zubac, I will. And that's Yi LaRue. She was respectable. She finished out her contract, and then she ended up on this Dallas Wings team, and you could see that they working on her. You could just see this Dallas team is going to be known as one of those teams who develop their rookies, because Isaiah James, she was one of the 4 rookie starters. So they had 4 rookie starters. She had a career high 28 points. Am I saying her name right? I be trying to pay attention. Sometimes I'm watching these games and it's on mute because I'm doing a whole bunch of other stuff while I watch the games. So I don't hear the commentators say their name right. I've been looking to try to figure out how to say it. Anyway, she shot 50% from the field goal the other night. 10 for 20, 5 for 9 from the 3. She had 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 28 points. And she was 3 for 4 from the free throw line. So, crazy good game for her. Then you had Yi LaRue, and I'm going to talk about her before I get to Paige, because obviously we all love us some Paige. Her first ever, got the most votes as a rookie of the month, all-star, not the first ever, but it's her first time all-star appearance as a rookie, and she's a starter. Come on now. But Yi LaRue, she was 1 for 5 from the field goal, 10 for 12 from the free throw line. She had 11 rebounds. She had a double-double. Now, I noticed with this Dallas team, when they can get Lee going, Lee is that girl for them. She sets really good screens. She immediately rolls to the basket. She has amazing finishes. There was this one finish she had on Brittany Griner, and it was just tough. Brittany, she took it baseline. Brittany met her at the rim, and she went under Brittany and finished with a reverse layup. I said, Lee. I sounded like what's his name from sound like Chris Rock from what's it called with Jackie Chan from Rush Hour. Lee. That's how I feel like every time Shorty score. It's like, come on, Lee. Like, come on. I love Lee. I think she's gonna end up staying with this Dallas team. I just feel like she fits really well with what they got going on, and she's a great front court for them. And then there's JJ Quinnerly. JJ was 7 for 12 from the field and had 17 points. And JJ, which is interesting about her, is that she made her first start last game when Paige was hurt. So to see her back in the starting lineup alongside Paige was really cool to watch. Not gonna lie. So, and she can score. She just know how to score. She could be a little bit of a defensive liability, but just the fact that there was all these rookie starters and they did turn the ball over. I think they had a total as a team. They had 15 turnovers as a team, and 13 of them were their starters. But like it was pretty like spread out, as opposed to like each of them. Like they all stayed under 4. So although like I'm not saying 2 turnovers, that's not that much as a guard. Obviously, we don't want anyone to have any turnovers, but I'm just pretty much impressed with this rookie team, especially with their upset against the one of the top teams in the league, Phoenix Mercury, who Phoenix is starting to struggle, man. They're struggling. My favorite player is Alyssa Thomas. That still has not changed. But let's talk about it. They were trading fire because Kayla Cooper, she had her 33 points, which I feel like kept their team in the game. But I think Dallas was just more balanced, and that's what kind of set them over the edge. They won in the rebounding. They kept the tempo. They made sure their momentum was always their way. So, like, the Phoenix weren't able to get a flow at all. Another thing I wanted to point out was Phoenix's third quarter. I think they had a solid third quarter. And that was probably their best quarter. Like, not even just scoring wise. But I actually thought at one point, okay, they could make a comeback and maybe win against this Dallas team. Because, like playing against a whole bunch of rookies. But, you know, experience doesn't always win. Tenure doesn't always win. Right? But I do want to do a notable shout out to what is her name? Oh, I wouldn't say it's like a notable shout out, but like just one of those things where I think the Phoenix Mercury, they rely heavily on Sammy Whitcomb. And I just wanted to know what y'all think. Like, should they continue to bring her off the bench? Or do you think, like, just start her? Because you end up playing her more anyway. And she just shooting the ball, hopefully hoping it lands. And I'm just curious, like, do y'all think that that's a good game plan for Phoenix Mercury? It seems like they rely heavily on Sammy to hit their 3. But if she's not going, what else are y'all got going on? You feel what I'm saying? I really loving the energy in the chat. Somebody asked if I played Patrick Glanville. Welcome to the chat. You asked if I played basketball. Yeah, I did. I played since I was like in elementary school. I played AAU. I played high school, college, and I never actually played like on a pro team, but there is a D League team in my area and I practice with them. So I never, well, G League, but like I never, well, D League, but I never like, you know, actually played on a pro team. But I have coached a little bit. Oh, welcome to the chat, C Glazer. C Glazer, welcome back to the chat. Said Lee helped Dallas a lot. She was unstoppable and was fouled many, many times in order to stop her. Yeah, but the only thing about Lee is I just like when there's like more aggressive bigs that she plays against, I just get a little concerned for her. That's all. Like guards like Natasha and Aaliyah Boston. Like not guards, forwards like Natasha and Aaliyah Boston. I would be a little concerned for Lee with forwards like that. You see what I'm saying? Or like a Shakira Austin, you know? I'll be just a little concerned for Lee. That's all. Got a lot of people in the chat. Y'all was talking about mods. I am still praying about that because I do want to get mods going. And like I was thinking about starting a Discord. I never did that before. I'm kind of behind technology wise, but day by day, right? Day by day. But I'm glad to see a lot of people returning into the chat, like Hakan Carlson. Welcome to the chat. I see some new people in return. JT, I think you're new. I don't think I've seen you before unless you changed your name. But you said not surprised about Paige. She's always been balling. Only injuries have slowed her down. Yep. And I hope she stays good and healthy for this All-Star game. And I'm curious to see who's going to pick her, Caitlin or Nafisha, you know? So I'm excited. I'm really excited about that one. Okay, so let us keep going. We'll do one more. We'll do the recap, just a real quick. I wanted to speak to that Lynx and Mystics game. Probably again one of like not an underwhelming game to watch, but watching 5 games in one night, it was a lot to do. But I did happen to go back and see this game like from beginning to end. And because I really like the Washington Mystics. I do. They're probably top 5 of my favorite teams in the league. I thoroughly enjoy watching them play. I knew they were going to have a problem since Sug Sutton made her way to the injury report. And in her place, they started Jade Melbourne, who I think is one of their strongest off-the-bench players. So I love that they started her. But I think they're for sure sleeping on which I mean she's more of a big. So let me back up. So it was a slow start for the Lynx, but they did manage to bounce back. They struggled a bit early with their shot selection, but once they found their rhythm, they did end up dominating on the floor. And we've seen Minnesota struggle. They've been on like this cold drought, this shooting drought. They didn't shoot well at the cup, and they didn't shoot well last night. But obviously, Nafisha Collier, she had 28 points in just 3 quarters. So she was scoreless in a quarter. But she made big plays down the stretch to put the game away. One thing I love about the Minnesota Lynx is their coaching system and that team. Like, they always, to me, just seem very composed, especially Nafisha. She just never seems like she just has this calm confidence to her game that I really love. And we could count on her to make those big shots at the end. And then Courtney Williams was very impressive to me. She was everywhere. Points, assists, rebounds, steals. Like, she brought the energy. And Lucy Alston, also off the bench, she had a big spark. And there was key moments that she helped Minnesota, like, keep the foot on the necks. You feel what I'm saying? So I enjoyed watching them play as a team. I think they're one of, I wouldn't say, like, they're the best one-on-one offensive team, but I do enjoy watching their system because they look like a championship caliber team the way that they play, is what I'm trying to say. If they hit their shots, they're unstoppable. When they're missing, I'm a little concerned for them. But, and Washington struggled to keep up. They turned the ball over so much, and a lot of that probably had to do with Sugg not being there as one of their floor generals. Also, you have, like, a younger guard like Sonia. She didn't turn the ball over, which I loved, but she also didn't have any assist. So I was just like, Sonya didn't have, like, a really good game, but Shakira Austin has to limit her turnovers, and I knew this was going to happen. Because one thing I said in my last stream, if you go look at it, I said that if people can realize how to beat Shakira, she's going to be beat bad. Because you could double her down in the short corner when she's dribbling, because she'll start to do a lot of out-of-control dribbling just to get herself to the basket. So that tells me two things. Either they're giving her the ball in places that won't be beneficial to her, so that says a lot about her team and in the plays that they have drawn. Or she gets the ball and she kind of automatically resorts to that dribbling, which with Shakira's dominance in the paint, we just need to position her better, because I don't think she needs to catch the ball right away in the places that she does and start dribbling. Because once she starts dribbling and that double comes, it's a wrap. It's over for her. It's over. Kiki Erfan, or is it Raffin? Nothing last night. Like, can you believe it was a person off the bench that scored more than the starters? The only person in double digits for the starters was Shakira. Brittany Sykes, she's come back from injury doing what? Diddly squat. I think if you want to talk about someone, hold on. LOL. If we want to talk about a team that played better without their star player, let's talk about the Mystics and Brittany Sykes. Because ever since she came back, it just seems like their rhythm was way off. I mean, how you go to upsetting the Minnesota Lynx without Brittany Sykes to then, like, losing to them here? I truly, truly believe that, like, if we want to talk about a team that looks better without their star player, in my opinion, I liked how the Washington Mystics were playing without Brittany Sykes. But, you know, I'm not going to take away from how great she is. I'm not saying she's not good. She good. She just probably needs to get warmed up coming off her injury, for real. But, you know, we'll see. I think Aaliyah Edwards was the star of their show yesterday. Despite, I mean, I'm not saying that Lucy obviously scored more, but Aaliyah, 6 for 7 from the field goal. Darn near shooting 100% from the field goal. She had 6 rebounds. She did turn the ball over a lot, but I just feel like I don't know why they didn't play her more. I just wasn't understanding Mystics last night at all when I was watching them play. Let's see what the chat has to say. It's Iriafin. Kiki Iriafin. I appreciate you, Tulip. I really do. I appreciate you still being here this entire time and being so as supportive as you are. And thank you, everyone, for your patience. I'm new to WNBA, okay? And I'm for all of you who don't know, you haven't been tuning into me. I've said this before, but obviously I'll say it again. I don't have a problem with that. I love basketball. This is my first year actually watching WNBA basketball. I kind of was one of those people, despite being a woman, and you could say what you want about that. I was like, bro, this is boring. I was like watching their games. I'm like, I'm just not feeling it. And then when Caitlin joined the league and Angel Reese joined the league and I saw these and Paige joined the league, like those, I was watching more women's college basketball than I was watching WNBA. So when they joined the league, I started to look. I was like, okay, this is actually starting to get a little fun to watch. I'm actually starting to like dig it. And then I've been tapping in this year. But I'm mostly NBA literate. I know a lot about the NBA. And then fantasy basketball, which fantasy, I'm not playing WNBA this year because, again, I'm so new to it. But I guarantee by next year, I will be playing the WNBA fantasy, but I am more of like a fantasy savant. I know I'm a 2-time fantasy champion. So I started this channel originally to talk about fantasy basketball, but then like it slowly but surely just kind of started turning into like something else. Oh, but while I was talking about the Mystics game, my bad, I had that up. Anyway, but yeah. So that's a little bit about me. But so welcome to the channel. We are wrapping up just talking about what happened on Thursday. And now, really quickly, we're going to talk about these games coming on tonight. Really quickly. And then we'll talk about Sue Bird, if you haven't already heard. You like that? You like what I did there? Okay. Okay, 2 games on tonight. And I'm really excited because upset alert. My favorite team in the league is playing tonight against the beloved Minnesota Lynx. And I honestly, upset alert. You feel me? I don't know. We'll see. I hope they upset them. Okay, let us. So we have at 7 p.m. tonight you can watch it on NBA TV or the League Pass or a local broadcaster. Not sure what local broadcaster that's on, but we will watch the Indiana Fever are hosting the Los Angeles Sparks. Indiana Fever are on like a 2-game or 3-game win streak, and the Los Angeles Sparks are on like a 3-game lose streak. So no, they're not on a 3-game lose streak. They're on like a 1-game lose streak, 2-game lose streak. They're on a 2-game lose streak. Yeah. Okay. So obviously the odds had the Indiana Fever. I mean, we gonna see. While I do believe they're starting to find their groove, and Caitlin Clark will not play tonight. We thought they were going to beat the Sparks the last time, and they didn't. I'm just saying, bro. Needs to know Kelsey Plum is ranked 4th in points per game, and then Indiana allows the lowest opponent 3-point field goal percentage. Now, I will say, because Indiana has been playing such fabulous defense, and this LA Sparks team does not play that well defense, but they do really well scoring wise. I'm curious to see, like, will Indiana be able to play better against them with the seal? Because that's how they lost the game to the Sparks the last time. They could not stop the front court. The Sparks front court dominated, especially in the fourth quarter, and Indiana could not hold them. Like, they just were a lot of seals, backdoor cuts. Natasha Howard was in foul trouble. Aaliyah was in foul trouble. So it's just like, when they're in foul trouble, I'm always concerned. Like, there's actually more pressure, I feel like, on Natasha Howard than we are giving her credit for. Like, if she does not show up and play, to me, this Indiana Fever team struggles. If she doesn't get rebounds, stay out of foul trouble, maybe contribute her little 10 points. Not her little 10 points. I'm sorry. That's crazy work. Not her little 10 points. I'm sorry. But if she doesn't like show up, they struggle. And that's what happened the last time they played. So, as you can see, Sparks beat them 85-75. Okay? And these teams trade back and forth wins. So, the Indiana last year beat them, but they didn't have Kelsey Plum, so we'll keep that in mind. And then they lost to them, and then the Fever beat them. So, it looks like if we go based on that, it's Indiana's Fever turn to win. So, but if De'Erica Amby and Rakia Jackson and Azare Stevens, if they can maybe feel like as confident as they've been despite their losses, then this game can end up being like a really good game. But maybe the Indiana Fever could possibly come out on top. But I don't know. Let's take a look and see if they already have the projected starters. No, they don't. But I could tell y'all right now who I think will be projected as starting. And then we'll also look at this injury report. Cameron Brink. Now, they had, the last time I looked at this, her estimated return date was July 2nd. So now they pushed it to July 9th. We did on the last stream, we looked into Cameron Brink because of her coming off her ACL injury. And the coaches said that she's on a timeline to make her return soon. So the fact that they pushed this back a week shows that it was like, okay, should she go tonight? And they were like, nah, let's wait. So we could possibly see Cameron Brink make her return to this LA Sparks team as early as next week. And honestly, with her returning, I think it's just going to elevate crazy. Cameron Brink was one of my favorite players ever coming out of college. Like, come on. So, and then Damaris is still out on her, I think she's playing overseas. So she'll be back, but she was just more of like that coming off the bench presence. And so, and she's in the front court, obviously. So, yeah. But, and again, Caitlin Clark will miss her 5th consecutive game with a groin injury. And they said her return date has since changed because I think it was something else the other day. So she might come back next week as well. But yeah, who do I think is going to be the starting lineup? Let me see. I think both teams are going to stick with their typical starting lineup. And that is, we're going to have Kelsey Plum at the 1. Then they'll probably start Julie. Wait, no, Julie's on the injury report. She's out, and she started. Oh no, she'll be back. Yeah. So she started. So she's not out anymore. See, this is not updated. That WNBA sheet is not updated because Julie, that's why I didn't even say nothing. Julie played. So Julie's going to start. And then I got Rakia Jackson, Azra Stevens, and Dearica Amby. That's who I'm calling as their starters for this game. And then for the Indiana Fever, obviously they're going to start Ariel McDonald at the 1, Kelsey Mitchell at the 2, Lexi Hall at the 3, Natasha Howard at the 4, and Aaliyah Boston at the 5. So I don't think they're going to be switching it up anytime soon. Then they're going to bring... Now, here's the thing. Sophia Cunningham did not play that much against the LA Sparks last time, and I really think it's because of size. Like, I think that this Indiana Fever team knows they don't match up size-wise against the LA Sparks, so we didn't see Sophie play that much, but she did manage to knock some threes down because the Los Angeles Sparks has terrible perimeter defense. So I'm curious to see how Sophie's going to play better tonight. And if, maybe we'll see a breakout game from Kelsey Plum. Who knows? But again, I don't think it's Kelsey scoring that keeps this team alive. I just don't. I think it's their front court. It's their younger girls. So, anyway, I foresee, I don't know. I want to just say, I think it's easy to say that Indiana's going to win, but I just want to point out the size difference, how LA Sparks were able to beat them last game, but I could see Indiana beating them this time. I can see it happening. What do y'all think? Okay, so we have the Holland Wolf. Welcome to the chat, brother. He said, think the Fever gonna win tonight against the Sparks. Bill McDonald said Lexi defends her butt off. Bill, I like that take because Lexi Hall is one of the most aggressive stretch guards I've ever seen in my entire life. I love her hustle. I absolutely love how much she hustles. I don't think Lexi, she's just a gem, and it doesn't translate on the stat sheet, but she's very much needed for there. She is she's very much needed for this team. Beyond the stat line, she does the little things. Shahid said, Sahid, welcome Sahid. With the way Indiana has been playing defensively in their last 4 games and greatly scoring the paint, got them winning tonight. Okay. And yes, he said it would be good to see Brink back soon for real. absolutely. Hollandwood said, I think CC should stay out till the All-Star break. The one thing I'm going to say about that, and I've noticed about the WNBA, is like big players like Sabrina, who came off her neck injury. And then we talked about Brittany Sykes. And I think Paige Beckers is the only player so far that I'm seeing can come back and still have a great night. Whereas though all these other players just seem to be struggling. They really seem to be just struggling coming off an injury. Like they need a couple games to get hot. So do I want Caitlin Clark to not be hurt anymore? Absolutely. Like I want her to heal. But I also think she needs to play in at least 1 or 2 games before she hits this All-Star game, or else we're not going to see her be hot possibly. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So that's my thought about that. Kelsey Bayall Clean said, any team that dominates the paint and plays enough defense, we lose. But not tonight. LA going down tonight. All right. Tulip says, you forgot the 30-piece Rakia dropped in Vegas after her concussion. Look, I wasn't saying every NBA. I was making a comment about just the fact that people need to get their groove on. And the All-Star is a game where we want everybody to be hitting crazy shots and doing everything that they can. So, like, what I'm saying is like, I would just love to see her play in a game before she just hops into this All-Star weekend experience. Okay? That's all. That's what I meant. Okay. Love all of it. I love all of the energy we're getting for this WNBA. So let us move on. So again, I think the Fever could possibly beat the Sparks, but I am going to curious to see the battle of this front court and what that will look like for the Fever with LA's really good front court. Okay. Now let's talk about this Golden State Valkyrie at the Minnesota Lynx. Okay, notably, the Minnesota Lynx are now 9-0 at home. So they are the only team in the league that has yet to be beaten at home. While the Golden State Valkyrie continue to show us how this might be their inaugural season, but they not to be played with. And they have slowly but surely became one of my favorite teams to watch. I love their energy. I love Veronica Burton, Tiffany Hayes. Tiffany Hayes is probably one of my favorite players. The breakout scoring capability of Kayla Thornton. How the team, she's now become like their go-to scorer. I like sleepers like Kate Martin coming off the bench hitting those threes. She might be small and they might she might struggle defensively, but Shorty gonna hit that three, okay? And then even Mo Billings. And then they have some guards that were overseas that are starting to make their way back into the rotation. And so I'm just curious to see what that's going to look like. But I would say Golden State Valkyries has the best crowd in the entire league, like for real. But they will be playing away. And they have a good away. Wait, do they have a good away record? I think they do. I got to look that up. But I think I was reading something like in the standings, which we can pull up after this. But I think I was looking at like who has the best away record or worst away record. I think Golden State actually struggles away. So we'll see. Also, the last Golden State Valkyrie game that they had and hosted, Steph Curry was in this crowd and Dawn Staley was in the crowd. I just thought that was like really cool. Not gonna lie. Everybody like, yeah, Steph. Anyway. Okay, Golden State allows the lowest appointed field goal percentage in the league. And Afisha Collier leads the league in points per game. And we all know where she's getting her points from. Okay? So let's see how they manage to sustain Afisha if they can. Now, the last time these two teams seen each other, Minnesota was going on their run, showing why they were the best team in the league. But they were 8-6. And Golden State 75. 8-6. They won 86 when Golden State lost 75. I was looking at their record. I think this is their conference record. So right now, Minnesota, this is a conference game too. So Minnesota has a lot at stake tonight. Not only do they have their home record in stake, their reputation's at stake. Let me stop. But their conference 7-0 record is at stake too. Wow, Golden State Valkyrie, to me, they give me upset vibes, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, maybe I'm biased. Maybe I am biased right now. But let me see. Let us see. We got perfect. They do have projected starters, which we love. We love it when they got that. Okay. So it looks like they're going to go with Monique Billings, who, like I said, made her way off the bench despite the return of, like, one of their front court people. I forget how to say her name. Looks like Mo has moved her way to the starting lineup. Shout out to Mo, because she hustles. She makes big-time defensive plays. And I really have enjoyed watching Monique develop. Stephanie Talbot is somebody that I don't really personally think. This is why I made this crazy take. I said I want DeWanna Bonner to come to the Golden State Valkyries and replace Stephanie Talbot in the starting lineup. Because Stephanie, like, she just... she probably, like, my least favorite player on that team, just because, like, she's just, like, a non-factor. She's tall, though. She gives them a lot of length, and she can play, like, in those guard positions sometimes, but I just don't really... she just does not impress me. I think she's soft. Like, I like hustle players, like people who get at it. People like Kayla Thornton, who gonna take you downhill. You feel me? Tiffany Hayes. Kayla Thornton's great, don't get me wrong. But I really love watching Tiffany Hayes play, bro. You hear my voice raising. The way she has the ability to go downhill and finish and create her own shot. Those are the type of players I like to watch. Those are, like, my favorite all-time player is Derrick Rose. My current favorite NBA player is Tyrese Maxey. Like, Tiffany Hayes, I'm not saying she's a Derrick Rose or a Tyrese Maxey, but what I'm saying is I love how explosive she is, and I just love her ability to finish. That's my favorite type of player, honestly. So this is their starting lineup, and then Veronica Burton. Now, while Burton does turn the ball over a lot, homegirl is such a great floor general for this team, and they just vibe really well together. And I like what they got going on. I really do. And then we got the Minnesota Lynx with Bridget Carlton is like their go-to three-pointer shooter. Nafisha is their best scorer. Elena, she has that ability to hit the three. We've seen it, but she's also their big presence in the paint. And you see her, she'll probably end up matching up against Stephanie or maybe. I'm pretty sure they're going to put Nafisha's going to be on Kayla. And then they'll probably put Elena on Monique. And then maybe Bridget on Stephanie. Possibly. Kayla McBride is going to probably guard Tiffany Hayes. And then Courtney Williams is going to guard Veronica. That's just like my guess on how they're going to break that down. Do I think Courtney Williams is a better point guard than Veronica Burton? One thing that I did notice about Courtney, because when I like players and teams, I look into their past a little bit more. I'm trying to do much research as possible and retain all this information. It's a lot of information. But Courtney Williams was not originally like a point guard. She's more like a 2, apparently. And they kind of have molded her and transformed her into this like point guard for their team. And, you know, she averages 6.1 assists per game, but that was not her normal role. So just seeing her and how she is with this team and her ability to now kind of flex into that role, I still like how she's able to get inside and knock that pull-up up. But I think Veronica Burton might be able to lock her down a little bit, and I cannot wait to see those two go at it. So we got 2 really good games tonight, bro. Let's see what they saying in the chat. So Ken Thomas said that the Lynx got beat by Fever in Minnesota. I understand that, but they did not count the Commissioner Cup towards their overall record. So I understand they got beat in Minnesota. It was at the Taylors. They didn't count it. So I'm going off of the fact that technically they did not get beat at home. Technically. So I hear what you're saying. And I see you said it in all caps. But I just want you to know and understand that they did not count that. Okay. So JT said Nafisha is trying to take the best player away from Asia. Jeffrey Nicholson said most dangerous sub 500 team in Dallas. Broad F. Jord. DB only got half court in these Ds. Tulip said, Bree, you must have liked watching Kennedy play. So explosive and fun to watch. Same, they blackballed her. Kennedy. Bailout said, wait, hold on. It's a lot going on. The Howlin' I see Lynx beating the Valkyries. Nafisha and her teammates were not good against the Fever, but I think they'll step up this game. Someone said Bonner was on my milk carton this morning. That is hilarious. Yeah, so Jeffrey Nichols said, yeah, it was an exposition game. So that's what I was saying. So that's why it's like it technically for the regular season, they are 8-0 at home or 9-0 at home, I think now, and 7-0 in the conference. So anyway, let's look at this injury report. Golden State Valkyrie has a lot of people out, I believe, like personal. Oh, Kayla Thornton undisclosed. But that was she's supposed to be back today? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay. Doesn't look like she's gonna be out today. I think that was just something else. Bro, I'm not playing. I'm not playing with y'all. Come on. Cause like without Kayla Thornton, I'm not saying that this Golden State Valkyrie team isn't gonna do okay, but I'm concerned if Kayla does not play. She's gonna play tonight, right? I hope so. I really do. I hope she's just not out just to be out. Bree, ESPN has the best injury report. Use them. Okay. I got the ESPN tab linked right here. Oh, Saturday. Looks like she's on here. It looks like she's on the Gamecast at least. Players to watch. Someone said I got ADHD. No, I don't. In fact, we're not going to turn this into like a conspiracy theory thing, but I genuinely do believe that like. Okay, good. She not on there. I don't even think so. I'm not going to even say that. I'm going to just keep that to myself. I do not have ADHD though. I am an only child and I'm never bored. So my mind goes everywhere. As an only child, we're never bored. We just always go from one thing to the next. But I don't think that's ADHD. That's funny you said that. Okay, so she's not on this report. So that's a good sign. And just in case, let's go ahead and look at the Fever. Caitlin's out, Damaris is out, okay, and then the Sparks. Cameron Brink is out, but she looks like she will be back maybe next week. Okay, cool. All right. So what is my prediction? I'm going to just be biased and say, like, I hope Golden State upsets the Minnesota Lynx. Just because from a bias. This is why I don't like having a favorite team, y'all. This is why I don't like when I'm in the NBA, I don't really have a favorite team for a reason. I don't like to keep my bias because I like to win in fantasy and I like to just whatever. I don't like being biased. I like to just be honest. Go what I think, not go off a bias. But right now, I want to go to state to beat Minnesota. And there's a chance, especially if Minnesota continues to not shoot well. And if the Golden State Valkyries have as good as the top allows the lowest field goal percentages, so they might have good perimeter, they might have good defense, I don't think Golden State has the best defense in the world, but, we're going to see. Someone said it's Bree versus Bree. 100%. It's all of us. Like, it's always you versus you, me versus me. You feel what I'm saying? For everybody. Our biggest enemy is ourselves. For real. But the enemy to my enemy is my friend. So, there's that. Okay. Let us move on. And we've been talking a lot about this. Not Paige. Bring this up. Oh, wait. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Before we wrap the WNBA up, I wanted to finish on a very, very positive, honorable note for the WNBA. And that is to give the flowers to this woman right here. Sue Bird, bro. She's going to become the first retired player ever in the WNBA to get her own statue, bro. Claps in the chat. I wish I had like a little button, a soundboard, and it was like claps in the chat. Like, come on. She's one of the greats. It was her team that won the first Commissioner Cup ever. I mean, that's not like one of the notable stats of Sue Bird. But they're going to unveil her statue in Seattle next month. She played in 21 seasons in the WNBA and was a 13-time All-Star. It will be unveiled Sunday, August 17th, on the day that the Storms matched up against the Phoenix Mercury. And it's forever like Sue's game. Someone says Sue's legacy isn't just written in championships, it's woven into the fabric of Seattle. Her leadership transcends basketball and helps shape a cultural shift, one that expanded who gets to lead, who gets seen, and who gets celebrated. Sue! Big Sue, bro! Damn, that's so tough. Shorty, she was Olympic gold medalist. Sue said, I was really excited when I heard. I grew up playing with Barbie, so it's kind of a surreal moment when something like this happens. That's hilarious. But damn. So I can't wait to see her statue. Let's hope that they do it justice, because we all know how these statue people be playing. Like, by any means, do not hire Dwayne Wade's statue maker. I hope the WNBA really invests in a decent statue maker, you know? Let's hope. Let us hope they don't do Sue dirty, because they already know how people can be. The media is gonna eat that up real bad. But yeah, shout out to Sue. Shout out to Sue. Someone says Sue is a legend and deserves recognition. That's hilarious. Tulip said, I'm not even going to repeat what Tulip said. I'm not even going to repeat what you said, bro. That's hilarious. Okay. Okay. Let us move on to the NBA free agency tracker. Now, there isn't any jaw-dropping moves that have been made recently or today. Now, mind you, today is July 5th. Tomorrow is July 6th. Why is tomorrow important in regards to the NBA? Because the moratorium lifts and all these trades and all these verbal agreements that we've seen been going on. Tomorrow is like the last day for that. And then I think after that, it's like when all these things will be set in stone. That transactions will begin to clear, or maybe some will get rejected. We really don't know. So some of the things that I wanted to point out that were kind of huge, or not big, but like I was like, okay, I'm glad to see that this is happening and it's somewhat important, is Mortis Wagner. He's a center for Orlando Magic. He was on the free agency. Remember, he tore his ACL this season. It was like talks like, okay, will he do? He did end up re-signing with Orlando for one more year for $5 million. So he will come back. And because he signed with Orlando for 1 year, $5 million, something tells me that maybe he'll come back from his ACL injury quicker than anticipated. And if he does, I think that's a cool, solid win for him, because he could possibly finish the season out, show his value, and end up on a different team. Because Mortiz Wagner is solid. He's a solid front court guy. You know, I'm not mad at him. Honestly, I would love for the Clippers to pick him up, because, I mean, the Clippers, they got Zubac and they just got Mason Plumlee, I believe. So it wouldn't hurt for them to get one more center, because the only center and big man that they had this season was Zubac. Like, for real, we're glad that man did not get hurt, because then what would they do? I don't know. So, and then Lachlan Olbrich, who was traded for a coach, he got traded as a pick. He was traded. He signed a 2-way contract with Chicago. So I think that was cool of Chicago, because they only, their front court was Zach Collins, Jalen Smith. I mean, Patrick Williams, but you know. So the fact that Lachlan was traded for a coach, and now he might end up on Chicago, that's not bad. And, I'm not saying he's going to be amazing, but I just wanted to point that out. Jackson Hayes, he agreed to a 1-year, $3.8 million contract with the Los Angeles Lakers. So he is re-signing to the Lakers, and I'm glad. I know that they just got DeAndre Ayton, but he's clearly, I see what y'all was saying about Sue Bird in the locker room, but DeAndre Ayton be acting a fool too. And, hopefully he got some coof and respect with LeBron in the locker room, but we'll actually get to LeBron. Hopefully he got some respect with Luka in the locker room, but I'm glad they're re-signing Jackson Hayes, because he stepped up for them. He did the best that he could on that team this past season. And without him, it would have been a train wreck in their front court. So I'm not saying he's amazing, but I'm really glad that he's going to do one more year. And again, he's a guy that I think is very valuable, and any team would be lucky to have him. Let's check the chat. What's up, Henry T? Welcome to the chat. Never seen you before. Sultan Amir, welcome to the chat. Never seen you before, so I'm glad you're here. You said Orlando was really good last season. Top 3 defense last season. Their ceiling is high. I agree. Last year, I just think they had so much depth. And this year, they only elevated their team further with Desmond Bane. I really like that. They also signed Tyus Jones. And I love Tyus Jones. I think Tyus Jones is going to be perfect. While Jalen Suggs, he's going to take Jalen Suggs' spot, in my opinion. Tyus Jones is a way better guard than Jalen Suggs. We can go back and forth about that. I don't care. Maybe not a better scorer, but I've seen him play in person, because, the Wizards, when he was on the Wizards, and they're so close, I usually go to Wizards games. I seen him in person, and I'm like, bro, I'm impressed. He hustles. I think Phoenix was the worst decision he could have made. Anybody who goes to Phoenix, I feel sorry for them. But anyway, Tyus Jones is on their team now. I think they re-signed Jonathan Isaac. They got friends. They got Paolo. And who else did they got? I could be missing some people, but that's okay. I think that they're looking solid this year. And I'm excited to see what they do. Okay. And then let's see. Any other? Okay, there is a guy named Ryan Nembhard who signed a 2-way contract with Dallas. Is Ryan Nembhard related to Andrew Nembhard? Question mark. Let me look it up. Yes, he is. Yes. I love seeing that happen. So Ryan Nembhard is Andrew Nembhard's younger brother. And I knew I saw that somewhere. I was like, am I tripping? But he just signed a 2-way deal to the Mavericks. And we all know what all-season moves that if you don't know, I'll tell you. The all-season moves that the Mavericks have made is sick. To me, they had the best off-season moves any team could possibly imagine. And everybody just keeps saying injuries, but bro, Kyrie Irving. Must I do this again? I've already went kind of stupid about this. But Kyrie Irving, D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Davis, PJ Washington, Derek Lively, what's his name? Big man. It's gonna come back to me. They still got Najee Marshall, Cooper Flagg, Daniel Gafford. That's the big man I was thinking of. Daniel Gafford. Like, I'm at 9 already. Max Christie, 10. Come on. They re-signed Derek Powell. Not that big of a deal, but that's like, come on, y'all. Come on. Klay Thompson. How could I forget Klay Thompson? I mean, I could forget Klay Thompson, but, you know, that's me being shady. But come on. That's 12. Okay. And it looks like the Hornets, they signed some, like, some people who had club options and stuff. Some real chill deals. Con Newpell actually ended up signing with Charlotte for a 4-year, $45.49 rookie contract. So he did land on Charlotte and got signed for that much money. But yeah, that is pretty much all the big stuff that I saw in the past couple of days. Nothing else really stood out to me. They still, this website didn't say how much Dylan Harper got signed for, but Carter Bryant did get signed for $23.42 million. So far, out of all these players, obviously Cooper Flagg got the most out of all these players, and then Ace Bailey got the next most. I don't think they've released VJ Edgecombe's yet. So that's something to talk about. Noah Usange, he signed his rookie contract for the Bulls for 4 years, $25.33 million. So yeah, it's some moves being made. But the biggest thing I really wanted to talk about was LeBron and what y'all thought about that. Apparently, in these renegotiations, LeBron and the Lakers have not been able to settle on something. And I'm also concerned for the Lakers because it seems like that's the same way with Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves has still not re-signed. Even though he was offered $86 million, he declined it. Any guy who declines $86 million, it tells me he either doesn't want to stay there or he wants $100 million. Also, could he have LeBron in his ear? You know, there's so many things going on in my mind about Austin Reeves. But when DeAndre Ayton got signed, everybody was putting up the projections for what the starting lineup of the Lakers looked like, and it included LeBron and included Austin Reeves. And I was looking at it and I was like, I just don't believe that's going to happen. I really don't. But some think that there's a trade that might occur. There's speculation that he could return to Cleveland. Because look at the moves, the lack of moves that Cleveland made. I would say a lot of it has to contribute to Cleveland just being a team who appreciates continuity and understands that it's important that you keep players together for more than 2 years. You know, so that could be a part of it. But as well, they signed a guy like Lonzo. It's like, what space are y'all trying to make? Does that make sense? Like, what money are y'all trying to save for what reason? Because right now, LeBron wants his final year contract. His final year player option contract is $52.6 million, which seems to be like a difficult number for teams to play. I mean, to pay. I said to play. But the Cavaliers, who are $20 million above the second tax apron, and the Dallas Mavericks as a possible destination, but I don't see that happening. The Mavericks made a lot of moves. They paid Cooper Flagg a lot of money, unless like, you know, they got more money than what we are thinking they do. But despite LeBron being the oldest guy and have the longest, despite LeBron having the longest seasons played in the league ever, he played in 70 games last year, averaged 24.4 points, 8.2 assists, 7.8 rebounds, and a steal per game. And he was shooting 51.3% overall from the field and 37.6% from the three. So, obviously it's LeBron. He's worth $56 million. but it's just coming down to who's going to pay it. And just the trend of the Lakers, like the Lakers is supposed to be one of the wealthiest teams in the league. Well, actually, I've been pulling up the thing. They've trended downwards. They're like losing money. I'm like, hold on. Where all y'all money going? Y'all, it really is giving broke. It's giving broke. So, yeah, let me see what the comments is saying. Someone said Mavs got a squad. I thought Wiggins in Miami. Andrew Wiggins is in Miami. For anybody who's curious, he is still in Miami. Someone said, I thought Sue, Independent Aquaman said, I thought Sue was related to Larry. That's hilarious. Dre Tyrell said, man, I'm from the Queen City, Charlotte. No one wants to play for Charlotte. The Charlotte got a whole bunch of YNs on their team. Okay. Jeffrey Nicholson said, nah, Larry but good, but he only a face a mother could love. That is so funny, yo. Y'all are going ham. Sultan said, Wizards not getting a number pick is still egregious. Tulip says, Braun will stay since they got Ayton. Before they were talking about washed Brooke Lopez. Yeah, and he was like, y'all ain't serious. But now, I understand Brooke may be like washed. But he did manage to play in like a lot of games. I drafted him from my fantasy. He's not washed, yo. Come on. Them international guys, they can go. They could go for a long time. Meaning like NBA wise. Like basketball wise. That sounded crazy. Oh my gosh. Someone said Braun going to be on Golden State in exchange for Jimmy Butler. Bro, this is where we got to start reading contracts, bro. I think Jimmy signed like a 2 or 3 year deal, maybe. This is where we got to look at contracts. Because when you say takes like that, you got to think about contracts. Yeah, he signed a 2 year, $110 million contract. So he has to play through and he declined his player option. So, no, that's not going to happen. Tulip says, Cavs don't have the cap breed. They're in second apron. Yeah, okay, yep. Braun at 41 is still better than 90% of the league. Jeffrey said, I came here for WNBA. I'm getting NBA schooling. Honestly, this is just basketball in general. So, if you read the description, I did say plus. We'll talk a little bit of NBA today. But if you just rewind the stream, we spent like an hour talking about WNBA. So, where do you think old Al Horford's going? Yeah, so Al Horford is on free agency. I feel like he's about to retire soon, to be honest. I think he's just going to re-sign, because why wouldn't they re-sign him? They are struggling for front court. They just got rid of Kristaps. You feel what I'm saying? And George Niang is not someone that you're just going to bring and be like, you're our big man. You see what I'm saying? So why wouldn't they re-sign Al, you know? So I feel like they are going to re-sign Al Horford. And it could just be like for a year or whatever. Hakan Carlson said LeBron was horrible in defense. He had one of the worst plus minuses defensive RTG on and off, especially wins on the team. His season was not good, in all caps, put all caps, not good. Offensive stat mean nothing when you're an overall negative for the team. Yikes. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate Jeffrey said, I'm not mad about it, but I have no NBA YouTubers. Got linked to you for WNBA, but I'm subscribed now. I like your energy. Hey, Tulip says that tomorrow his Alyssa Thomas edit that I requested is dropping, and I literally cannot wait to see it. So I will be going to your channel during the stream. And when you hop in, because I will stream tomorrow, probably like lunchtime, afternoon. I feel like that's when I'm going to stream. I'm going to like play it while I'm on here. So I can't wait to see it. Oh, Tulip, you're a girl? My fault. I'm happy you're a girl. Goodness. Matter of fact, let me go to your YouTube right now. We will take a little break from the NBA before we just kick into the Summer League, and then we'll wrap the stream up because we're going for almost 2 hours now. And my computer just 8 gigabytes of RAM. It can't handle it for too much longer. Knowing that you're a girl, I'm more inclined, no offense guys, but I'm more inclined to make Tulip a mod. Just because. Y'all men just be, when it comes to, it just be questionable. I'm a girl's girl. I am looking for Alright. Okay, I do want to point out something though. When I logged on the stream today, I had like 157 subscribers, and now I'm at 200 subscribers. So I just want to say thank y'all, because that was my goal, just to get like 200 by next week. So the fact that we got it today, I'm really grateful. I'm really thankful. Right now we got 30 people in here watching. So I just want to say I love y'all. Like, I love all the action and energy in that. Yeah, like somebody said, you like my energy? No, I love y'all energy. I love the energy that we have, and all the conversations that we're able to have about basketball. I love basketball so very much, and I'm just grateful that we can talk about it right here. Like I said, basketball taught me how to love, so I made a channel about it. And I'm just glad to be here. Okay, just want to wrap it up. Wrap up the channel today with... Oh, wait. I do that. I'm multitasking. Okay. We have... I appreciate you, Tulip, very much. Ed Hawkins. Tulip, there it is. Tulip Plays. All one word. Yeah, because I typed in Tulip Plays and it was like this little girl. I was like, hold on. This cannot be Tulip. Here you go. I love your basketball background, like with the moon into the hoop, and it's purple. Cute. I just subscribed. Cute. Oh, you do quizzes, edits, and highlights? Oh, this is so cute. Okay, I'm excited. I'm excited to see it tomorrow. Okay. So, we'll get back on track because IED is kicking in. Okay, 2K Summer League. What do we have to say about that? Today's first game will be at 4:30, and this is the Salt Lake Classic kicks off today, and so does the California Classic, the San Francisco essentially, but California Classic. So it's in full swing. It's an exciting showcase for both fans and teams. But what's really exciting about this year, it marks the 20th anniversary for Summer League in general. So it's just a special milestone for the event. So there's 3 different leagues essentially. So it's the Salt Lake City one, the San Francisco, California one, and then it will be, and that each team only showcases 6 teams, but the bigger one that showcases every team will be in Las Vegas. But today's action will feature some of the top rookies from the recent draft, with players like 3rd and 5th overall picks. And then, for example, the Sixers played today, and so we'll get to see VJ Edgecombe. That's just one of the call-outs. There's several teams that have intriguing storylines already heading into this summer. Obviously, a lot of people are going to be excited to see Cooper Flagg for the Dallas Mavericks. So we'll get to see him play. And then in the San Antonio Spurs is also kicking off with their classic, and we'll get to see which is, what's his name? Charles? I think his name's Charles. I'm not too keen with all the new guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. But yeah, I also want to talk about sleepers, okay, and undrafted rookies or second picks, or even first year pros that were drafted and are coming back. First year pros like Reed Sheppard, who played on the Houston Rockets. The last summer league, he averaged 20 points, 50% shooting. And he was pretty decent for the Rockets this year. So I'm excited to see him. And then Jalen Wells from the Memphis Grizzlies. He already had made a name for himself in the summer league. So heading into this NBA season, he was looking pretty good. And he got a lot of bump on the Memphis Grizzlies. So I'm excited to see him come back and play. Another underrated player to watch is Dre Davis for the Brooklyn Nets. He earned an NBA contract from his summer league performance. So I always like to see when guys are slept on and then they earn their contract. I love that. Oh, and also not Caitlin Reese. That is so funny, Caitlin Reese. Angel Reese's brother, Julian Reese, he got signed to the Los Angeles Lakers. He is coming out of Maryland, averaging 13.3 points and 9 rebounds per game. And he's similar to his sister with a physical presence in the paint. So if they need a big guy, obviously the Lakers need that. It would be nice to see him show his ability to hold it down in the front court. I'm excited to see that. But yeah, those were just some of the call-outs that I wanted to make. Nothing crazy, nothing big, okay? I'm going to be watching as much as I can. But yeah, so someone said, you think KD will be great with the Ant-Man? No. No team should have Anthony Edwards or Kevin Durant on their team. I mean, we saw it for the Olympics, but we're talking about no expedition games, talking about regular season, no. Because neither one of those guys are leaders. A team needs a leader. And when you got 2 guys who just want to score the ball, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work. Someone said, make Tulip a mod. She knows what she's doing. Very nice. Someone said, Jeffrey said, I'm going to watch the Indiana Fever game. If you go live for the Valks, I'll jump on after. Hakeem Carlson said, first time seeing you, I enjoyed it. Subbed. I appreciate your sub. Green Ghost Official, first time I seen you in this chat before, so welcome. Said, you are dope. I appreciate this channel and the fact that you're doing it so young. Oh, I'm actually older than what y'all think. I don't know how old y'all think I am, but I'm telling you, nobody will probably ever guess my age. I'm telling you right now. But, yeah, I appreciate all the energy. I am so grateful. Words can't even begin to describe how grateful I am to see so much action in the chat, and just all the love, all the comments, all of your thoughts and opinions, because at the end of the day, everybody, this is a democracy, okay? We can bring all of our thoughts to the table and have freedom of exchange. And whether I don't agree with you or I agree with you, it doesn't matter. I'm just glad that we all get a chance to talk basketball, and I'm glad we all kept it cute. Keep it cute, okay? We're not trying to put nobody down. We just talking basketball. So, yeah. Everyone, go tune into those 2 WNBA games. Indiana Fever host the Los Angeles Sparks, and then we have the Minnesota Lynx host the Golden State Valkyries. So the Sparks and Indiana game is at 7 p.m. Eastern, and the Golden State Valkyries and Minnesota game is at 8 p.m. Eastern. So I will be watching both games, and tomorrow we will recap those 2 games. Look out to see maybe some moves that have possibly been made in the WNBA free agency, and then also any moves that could have possibly been made in the NBA. And then also there are Summer League games on tonight that you can catch kicking off at 4:30 p.m. So be on the lookout for those to see good guys coming in. And yeah, I appreciate all the love, all the support, and I look forward to tomorrow and us talking more. And just remember, if you know bull, you know ball. All right, take care, everyone.